on the European Tour. He won the CEV last year in 2017 in Baden, Switzerland. And in 2014, he won the Nanjing, China FIVB Juniors Tournament.
To be clear, I think that guy's right-handed that just hit that left-handed.
We've got some serious athletes on the court right now. Russia is in the white jerseys to your left, both wearing black hats. The server back here is Krasilnikov. And attacking to the right side is Martins Plavins, who you saw playing with the Lion King.
Lion in San Jose.
San Jose 1440 event.
They won that event, if I'm not mistaken, right?
They won the event.
They took down Norway, #1 team in the world.
As Martins Plavins serves into the net, #2 for Latvia in blue.
So
his partner has changed, and he is playing with Edgar's Tocs. This is his normal partner, his regular partner for 2018. Tocs, the full-time blocker. Holy moly, this guy's an animal.
Yeah.
Stoyanosvskiy is just, how tall is this guy?
He's got to be 6'10", 6'9".
He is listed at 6'9", but he looks about 7'9" right now.
And awkward, goofy
He's
foot
goofy
approach. Which
his arms are about 7 feet long each.
Yeah, and you said he's 22?
Just turned 22 last month.
22. He's been competing in the juniors, it looks like, for the last few years.
Yep.
Kind of came onto the scene here.
Yeah, won his first FIVB Real Open in Xiamen, China, back in April with Igor Veliko.
And they beat. Didn't they beat his partner he's playing with right now? Yeah, his partner got second in Xiamen.
It was an all-Russian final.
Wow.
They're breeding some bangers over there in Russia right now.
Didn't know beach volleyball was so big over there.
It certainly is. They've got a lot of good teams at the youth and senior national team level. That is a quick look at Edgar's Tocs. On the outside, left side player back to serve for you, #2 in blue from Latvia. They trail 3-5 over the Russians in the white jerseys to your right.
Going to the young guy.
Stoyanovsky rips angle. Ka-ching. Krasilnikov just uncorks in transition out of the middle. As we said, this is a jumper's beach here today all week. We've got very hard-packed, small-grain sand, so the players can just get to their spot and elevate. Oleg with the serve, gets up to the net.
Very good hit there. Cross court off the top of the block. The right side guy, Stoyanosvskiy, reminds me of a Russian guy that I grew up playing against Todd and I our first few years on FIVB. 6'11".
Ambidextrous.
Hit left and right-handed, and he was the setter on their indoor national team at 6'11".
That guy was amazing for a while.
Do you remember him?
I do. I can't remember his name either.
And his partner was crazy. They used to fight all the time, in between games and matches, smoke a cigarette every once in a while. Crazy, crazy stuff.
He was the first real true giant at 6'11".
Yeah. And
kind of unservable.
Served with his left sometimes, would hit with his right.
Nice self-cover by Plavins. He goes up to joust again. Stoyanovsskiy covers himself. What an athletic play by the blocker. Stoyanovsskiy went with a soft block and turned and laid out to keep that save and get the 7-4 lead.
You're clearly going to have to keep the ball about 3 to 4 feet off the net against him.
He looks about the size or slightly bigger than Phil Dahlhauser, but his arms are really long too.
Yeah.
And he's only 22 years old.
Phil, if you're listening, I still think you're a better player.
Another really good serve by Krasilnikov. Laid out the Latvian player in serve receive. Forced Tocs to go on 2, kind of a ill-advised on 2.
How long have Tocs and Plavins been playing together?
Way to put me on the spot, buddy.
Yeah, come on, see?
You know that they played all of this season together until the other Latvian got hurt.
You literally can't set the ball within 2 feet of the net, or he's going to touch it.
He'll gobble you right up.
Like we talked about in the last match, somebody like him would be a good person to run those shoot sets to the antenna, kind of move him around.
Right.
Take some of his size away. Great set. Wow.
This is almost a little unfair right now.
That looks like they're just setting the opposite out of the back row, a high ball, and he's just annihilating.
Any of you guys from California are tuning in to watch this right now. This is not your game down at Manhattan Beach in the deep sand.
No, this is big boy volleyball right here.
This is young, explosive, big boy volleyball off of super hard packed sand. I mean, it's only about 24 inches of sand right on top of cement, and there's not a breath of wind. So these guys are basically just teeing off like indoor volleyball right now.
Perfect side-out conditions.
And these conditions led to what we saw last game, right? With all those stuff blocks from Jake Gibb and Ricardo Santos.
Does Latvia know something we don't, that they continue to serve this guy? Is his partner... What?
Latvia is just spoon-feeding
what is going on?
Stoyanosvskiy, and he is basically tearing the cover off the ball.
They're probably just trying to tire his arm out. I think that's their strategy. I'm going to go with it.
He's so young that maybe they feel like they got to test the young guy.
He could do this all day, though, for the next 10 years, probably.
Sure looks like it. Okay. He's standing in the shadow. If you guys can see that, he landed where the shadow of the net is, so that's at least 6 to 7 feet off the net.
I can't excuse my laughing, but that's crazy.
And we're both just in complete shock at the physicality right now of Oleg Stoyanovsky. And then impressed by little 6'2" Plavins, who says, I don't care how tall you are. I'm going to feast right under you, guy. However, I will say that Stoyanovsky, the Russian blocker, he really has got to get off the line. All he's doing is blocking straight up and down on the line every single time.
They're going to try the other guy. Oh, he can hand set, too. All I got to say is I'm glad I retired when I did.
You didn't want to face the volley factory of Russia?
These big guys that can pass, set, and hit now?
The Siberian volley factory would have done a little damage to you. Krasilnikov and Stoyanovsky take our first lead at the technical timeout, 13-8. They're just annihilating Plavins and Tocs, who are a very good volleyball team.
Yeah, they are. They are just making a lot of plays. Impressive blocking, side out every time.
I'm going to say, if you're going to play Russia later in this tournament and your blocker's smaller than 6'5", you better pray for a monsoon or a tornado to come up to blow the ball off the net for this guy.
Yes. I used to love super windy days against the big teams. Let's bring the ball control back in.
Right? It's the only equalizer.
On this surface, I'm not even sure that would matter.
Yeah, this is going to be a very, very physical tournament. It is rewarding the bigger, taller, stronger players for the most part.
Although, you never know in Vegas. Just like your luck here can change, so can the weather.
True. Plavins out of the center of the court. Good idea.
That was just a normal line shot. It's the first one we've seen, I feel like, here.
I think because he came to the center of the court the way your partner Todd Rogers used to like, he was able to get around Oleg.
Yeah.
Stoyanovsky, the Russian block. Perfect pass by Oleg. And pardon our giggling, but this is just pretty fun to watch, man. This is crazy athleticism by this 22-year-old.
Wow. Yeah, I'm not laughing at him at all. I'm just laughing because that's so good.
I mean, it's like watching LeBron just run dunk lines, right?
Yeah. It's a layup line right there. How about him indoors?
LeBron?
No. Well, yeah, him too. I'm saying Stoyanovsky. What do you think he touches, if you had to guess?
We're going to go ask right after this game. I'm dying.
He's got to be close to 12 feet.
He's got to be up near 12 feet. That is the new benchmark of ridiculousness for indoor volleyball, right?
Luckily, you cleaned up your Russian between San Jose and Vegas, so you can ask him in Russian.
Give it my best shot. He starts at the net, and his partner, Krasilnikov, back to serve. He's got the tattoos on the arm, number 1. Plavins comes in the middle again, and he's going to go.
Oh, nice.
A great dig by Krasilnikov.
Oh, what?
Gatored by Plavins. Oh, my.
Did he just jump, spike, dig that all in one?
He did. He didn't take any approach, and he probably touched higher than the antenna.
Wow.
That's some great defense, too, by Plavins and Krasilnikov. I think I'm doing a pretty nice job with the last names here on these guys, but the first name of Krasilnikov, I can't even get near. Vakoslav, maybe.
Try that.
Vakoslav? Oh, he just misses his cut shot downwind.
The defender looks like a really good all-around player.
Krasilnikov?
Yeah, he took a good look there. He runs down a lot of shots.
That
really
pickup he got on that cut shot was amazing.
Yeah.
Not only his
quick arm, too. How old is he? He's clearly under 30 with that arm.
27 years old. Serve goes long. This has just been a runaway from the start, from the physical play of the Russians, Krasilnikov and Stoyanovsky. I think they probably woke up this morning, came down and checked out the sand and said, hey, we are going to be touching 11.5 feet today. Let's go.
I'm wondering if
perfect conditions for them.
Maybe Latvia's played them before in other conditions and had some success. Oh, got an injury?
His hand. I have a weird feeling that he cut it so sharp and reached so far over. I think he hit his hand on the blocker's hand.
Oh, really?
And I think he probably jammed his middle or index finger really hard.
Hopefully he didn't dislocate it.
He went down quick. He didn't hit himself. I'm pretty sure he hit the blocker's hand on his follow-through.
We got a medical timeout.
It's either his index finger or his middle finger. Might be the only thing to stop the Russians right now is medical timeout, which it looks like we're going to have. 5-minute break.
Typically, you can kind of tape those together, and it won't have a huge effect. Who knows? Maybe they bust out the soccer mat, the magic spray.
Right. We all know the European magic spray, right? For those of you who have never been to an FIVB event or seen European soccer, there's usually somebody who runs out for an injury and just takes like a hairspray aerosol can, just sprays it on your ankle, and like 2 minutes later, you're touching 11 feet again.
All they were missing was the plastic cart to carry him off on, the stretcher.
Have you ever seen the bloopers videos of people coming out to haul the soccer guys away on the gurneys and they just dump them on their head?
And then magically they run back out, and they're fine.
Hey, I'm fine.
While they're taking a little break here, Jeff and I are going to take a quick little 2-minute timeout. Hopefully injury will be taken care of, and we'll be back in play here in the next couple minutes.
We've got Russia leading 17-12 over Plavins and Tocs, Latvia. Medical timeout. See you in a minute. Okay, we're back to action. Luckily, we just had a little jammed finger. We believe that Martins Plavins, the man serving from Latvia, just hit the blocker's hand and jammed his middle finger.
Ooh, right off the back of the line.
Just a tiny piece of twine did that catch. Really nice looking side out by Krasilnikov. 13-17 here in set one. I'm Jeff Alzina, joined by 2004 Olympian Dax Holdren.
Maybe that medical timeout will be something that turns this around a little bit.
Very possible, because Russia was on an absolute tear.
Yeah.
Okay, that's clearly where Latvia wants to be. Plavins is going to try and bring that set all the way into the middle of the court, and instead of trying to go over Stoyanovsky, he's going to go around him.
Yeah, you want to get the blocker off of the antenna. If the blocker's on the antenna when you're swinging, you're in a lot of trouble. Nice.
Beautiful dig by Plavins. This kid just doesn't quit, does he? Look at this guy.
Impressive.
He's so unassuming, if you will. You know, he's not flashy, he's not crazy quick, but he reads well, he's quick enough, and makes excellent decisions with his offense. Just phenomenal decisions. Trying to score their first back-to-back point of the game, and
it's a good
Edgar
swing
gets
right there.
Just a little bit tooled on the outside. 19-14 Russia. Stoyanovsky back to serve.
Nice
Great
run.
dig by Krasilnikov.
Look at that transition set. You can't have 6'10", 6'11" guys transition setting like that when you're only 6 feet.
Amazing play. Krasilnikov looks like just your really quality standard outside hitter for indoor, doesn't he? He just gets outside on the left and takes a big cut. First set point. Oh!
Does he get an assist for that? That was like an alley-oop.
They all laughed about it. They're still talking about it.
I don't think I've ever seen that.
He swatted it, but it was so far behind him that it was almost like a catch and throw.
And he was still on the ground, I think.
That was dirty.
Wow.
Filthy dirt by Oleg Stoyanovsky.
That game wasn't close, but it was very entertaining.
Super entertaining. You and I got more laughs at just sheer shock and awe of how physical its 22-year-old kid could be.
Yeah. Does everybody not have the scouting report out here on him yet?
Well, we found out that they've only played one event together before, the Russian team right now. Stoyanovsky, this blocker, as you said, is only 22, and he's been playing on the juniors level for a long time with Artem Yazukin, and all of last season he played with Igor Veliko. And Krasilnikov has got his 2 wins in 2017 with Liamen. So this team just hooked up at the last event here in China and is making it look like they should stay together for a while.
Let me ask you this. Since you've been around international recently a decent amount, on the Russian Federation, do they make the teams, or do you get to choose who you play with? I know all of us Americans have the free will to kind of choose whoever you want to play with and make a run with the Olympics with whoever you want. I know, like in Cuba and some of the other places.
Like Brazil did that for a while.
Yeah, Brazil kind of chose who you were going to play with. I don't think they do that anymore.
The Netherlands apparently does that as well. They choose who you're going to play with, or strongly suggest financing certain teams.
Right. So somebody behind an office door decides who they think will be the best team and mix mash of talent, I guess.
And, you know, the American players really don't like that, but sometimes it's the right decision. Sometimes you need an outsider to help make those decisions, right?
Spoken like a real coach.
I mean, we're so used to the players choosing whoever they want to play with, and you're an independent contractor, and that's one of the strengths of the American program. But there are certainly certain cases when players have stayed together for too long for whatever reason, or too good of friends, or don't want to upset the cart, and they stick around with someone too long, or they haven't asked the right person. So I think a blend is a good call. I think players should have a certain amount of autonomy.
I don't think you're ever going to get that here in the U.S., not with our federation.
Your old partner is the manager of national teams, Sean Scott. He's here. You could go ask him.
Yeah, where is he? We should bring him up here. Sean Scott, he of the 3-time Manhattan Beach Open champion, at least a couple.
2, Sean Scott?
I think he got a couple with John Hayden. I think I got second twice with Sean.
Scott Hayden got 2, and then he got one with Pepe De La Hoz, the one that everybody loves, right? We're not really counting
Are
that.
we counting that? Pepe, if you're listening, I apologize for Jeff right now.
The boycott year. Everyone wants the asterisk on that match, but they did win it.
Yes.
Krasilnikov on the left. Chips high line.
That's such an unlucky play right there, having been a defender. You make a great run. You see the line shot. The blocker, all he's trying to do is touch it up, and he touches it right back to where you started. Super frustrating.
Nice little baby cut by Plavins.
Latvia's kind of changed their strategy, kind of slopping it around here, taking the blocker a little bit out of play, I think. Which, after the first game, is probably not a bad idea.
Not only did he switch it up, but he made like a weird off-speed cut, right? You could spin a cut, but that was almost like a dead hand cut.
Yeah.
Krasilnikov just uncorking on the outside. He's got a good-looking approach and a really whippy arm.
To be fair, at least they're touching those. The other, Stoyanosvskiy, I mean, they weren't even touching those. And they haven't.
Not even close.
Has he seen a serve in the last 15 minutes?
No. He was thundering from 7 feet off. They were like, I think I've seen enough. Set pulled off the net. That's not going to cut it. That's when being 6'3" hurts.
Yeah.
You get a bad set, and you're facing 6'10". Tough call right there.
I'm not sure if I was playing against Stoyanovsky if he would ever see a serve.
They stick with Plavins. Tocs gives a better set.
Good shot.
Just a perfect high line shot. It looks easy, but that's not easy to do. Huh?
I think as a defender, when you're playing like with even like Jake Gibb or Ricardo we saw last match and him, when they're that big and they take such a good job at taking the hit away, you almost need to be leaning towards the shots.
Look at that swat by Edgar's Tocs.
Put ourselves a rally. Ooh. Hit back.
That's
Steagall? You can do that, apparently.
See, my feeling is you should be able to two-hand dunk it like that if there's a perception that the attacker is going to touch it too.
Yeah, that was clearly on their side of the net.
Right. The attacker had no chance at touching that, so that should nullify your ability to throw it with two hands sideways. Do you agree with that?
I totally agree. Let's get them to change the rule book right now. I don't think it's going to happen, but that's just awkward.
Hey!
If it's on your side, clearly that was on their side by a foot. You should have to swing at it.
Yep.
If it's on top of the tape, then I think it's a totally different rule in a totally different instance.
Another tight set. Chance for Tocs to get another. He soft blocks. Wow. Tocs is listed at 6'5", 29 years old. He'll be 30 in about a month.
Everyone looks short out here compared to Stoyanovsky.
Yeah.
6'5", looks like he's about 6'2".
Tocs, the Latvian, setting that ball beautifully. He's made $76,000 in his career.
What hand should he have gone with on that?
Will you just go down there and just slap him with your left hand? Hey, buddy. God gave us two.
For you youngsters on that, watch that. Please go with your left hand when you're diving and running to the left.
I've had a few words with Jaden Whitmarsh, the daughter of Mike Whitmarsh, who's playing for us at UCLA. Just loves to. She's so fast and goes and gets everything, but she'll play everything backhand, right hand. Jaden, figure it out.
The Whitmarsh clan. I bet she's a good athlete.
She's a stud, absolute stud. Great student, great person. We're so stoked to have her as a Bruin this year.
How is the squad looking so far?
I think we're the deepest team in NCAA right now. I think our 10 players are going to be competing as starters, are going to be extremely tough to beat 3 out of 5 on any given day. And our bench goes 9 deep, and I would put them up against at least half the teams in the country.
Just straight up, if you made a second team?
Second team, I think we could beat a lot of teams. Maybe not a lot of the top 5, but we got a lot of studs at UCLA right now.
I mean, I may be putting words into my mouth and your mouth, but I feel like Todd may have told me the other night that he plans on taking you guys down pretty easily.
Well, Raj, I know you're not listening because you didn't listen to me and Dax last week in San Jose, so I got some thoughts for you, buddy. I think Cal Poly is going to be really good this year. Cal Poly with Todd Rogers is going to be much improved. I think that they will win the Big West and thereby qualify into the Elite Eight and go to the national championship.
Really?
Finals.
You're predicting their first Elite Eight
I do.
shot this year? Wow.
100%. Put it down. I think Todd's done a really nice job of recruiting all the best players that he can get that want to be there. You know, I mean, there's a lot of good talent out there, but so many of them are going to just a couple of schools and being okay with maybe riding the bench a little bit. But Todd has found the right players that are going to fit his program just right, and all the studs that he could possibly acquire through high school or through transfer.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I think they're going to be there. I think they'll be in the top 8 this year.
One or two UCLA girls go to Cal Poly?
We had one girl transfer off of and she really just did not want to play indoor volleyball at UCLA anymore. And Tori Van Winden, her sister, is also at Cal Poly, and her mom also went to Cal Poly. So there was a very strong family pull for her to try out a different program.
Oh, good hustle. I think he'd like to have that first touch back. He really ran that down pretty easily and had two hands on it and shanked it
Sure.
backwards. So we have what? Indoor women's is wrapping up here pretty soon, right?
Another month or so. About 3 more weeks or 4 weeks before we get into conference playoffs. Ooh, he's back. So that Latvia had built a 3-point lead, built it into 11-8, and now with 2 nice plays by the Russians, we get back to a 1-point game in our first technical timeout. I'm Jeff Alzina along with Dax Holdren here on feature court number 2 at the F5EB Las Vegas, presented by P1440. We're going to go ahead and take a short break during this technical timeout. Please stay with us and see if the Latvians can hold on to their lead and take down the Russians. Pocket dig by Krasilnikov's got to go over the net. Latvia forces it up and gets a micro touch. We didn't hear that. I thought I heard that.
I think she pointed the wrong way. I think he just totally missed it, but she did point.
I thought for sure there was a touch on the block there. Okay, real point for Russia, 11-all.
No complaining by Latvia. I think they might have got that call right.
They stick with Plavins. He runs on a little bit higher set. I don't think that's the one he wanted. He's going to take an immediate timeout.
I'm not even sure if we move these lines back 15 feet if either of those balls are in. They really tattooed those ones just a little bit long.
It's a pretty quick timeout, wasn't it?
Yeah, but I mean, if this gets too much farther out in front of them, they're not going to make a comeback, and they're already down 1-0. Stoyanosvskiy got one block going into that turn. You think that got him a little mentally there? He hadn't had a block in quite a while. And now
I don't know if it got him mental or not, but that set really was different than what they've been running. That was high and pushed a little bit closer to the pin, where you said that you don't want to find yourself against a big block.
Definitely not.
The little tempo ball 3 feet off in the dead center of the court had been working great. And that's exactly the kind of set that we run against Phil Dahlhauser. Right? Trevor wants to set about 4 feet off and pretty much right on the center line of the court, so you can create some good angles around the big block.
And it makes the blocker choose one way or the other. If they're out on the antenna, they can just go big and over and almost take both angle and line.
Uh-oh, a little tight.
Inside approach, though. That was the Raji inside approach, so he opens up the little line shot.
He wanted to come to the middle, but playing with fire with that tight set. Hope you guys stick around. This has turned out to be a great match after a Russian beatdown in the first, 21-14. It's tied up at 12s here. Coming up next, we've got two-time American Olympian Sean Rosenthal.
Oh, wow. That's available.
Edgars.
Nice move into the angle.
6'5", stuffing down 6'10".
He has only been hitting angle. While he has had some impressive swings, they've all been angle. And there's the line shot.
Are you kidding me?
Wow.
His whole body was facing sharp angle, and he just thundered that straight down the line.
That's what you call a 22-year-old arm right there.
Would you say this guy's got a bright future, Dax?
Yes.
At least a decade and a half in the game. Wow. Wow, what a dig.
Great dig.
Krasilnikov off the net, chisels, Plavins, digs him back, comes into the center of the court, peeks.
Oh, no. Bravo!
Oh, he peeked too long. He totally missed the ball.
Stoyanosvskiy does a good job on those offsets of kind of waiting with his block and not committing too early.
Agreed. Oh boy, the weeds. Plavins completely has given away the lead. They had a 3-point lead early at 11-8, and now after about 4 out of 6, they trail by 2 to the young Russian, Stoyanovsky, who is back to serve.
That is tight. That's a really good pokey. The pokey cut shot. They've exclusively gone to Plavins.
Okay, there's a little freebie, getting back quick. Edgars Tocs.
My favorite play on tour right there. The dribbler for ace.
Ugly dribbler.
They'll take anything they can get right now. 14-15.
There's one of our NCAA players from Latvia coming to watch her fellow Latvians. Oh, my. I was speaking about Tina Gradina, who plays also internationally for Latvia, one of the top players for USC.
16 serving 15 here.
Hammer jump serve, scooped easily by Plavins. It goes back to his baby cut. Keeps this game all tied up. 16 all.
Sharp angle or wrist away line shot?
Kind of like Lupo, right?
Yeah.
Lupo from Italy plays the exact same game. First back set of the game, just a stupid angle. Just a stupid angle.
Wow.
Oleg Stoyanovsky, write it down. Fans out there, you're going to be hearing that name one way or another for years. This guy is a beast. Oh my. Go.
And he's digging in transition.
What a set by Krasilnikov. Just almost got too juicy there for him.
I mean, I don't know how much longer Phil and some of the Jake Gibb, those guys want to keep playing, but with this guy coming up, he's going to be here a long time and only going to get better.
I'm trying to picture this guy in 5 years when he's like super mature and polished and experienced. He's got at least one Olympics under his belt. This guy's going to be tough to stop. Krasilnikov with a dirty, filthy cut shot.
He's a pure beach player. Looks, moves the ball around, has all the shots, looks every time. He's got a crazy arm, too.
Krasilnikov from Russia in that white jersey there, number 1, the leader of this team, is quite a weapon himself. They take the lead 18-17 over to the so-called good side. Little wind in the face. Oh, they switch it up. They go to Tocs on the outside, who chisels right under the block.
Yeah.
Off his elbow and under his armpit.
Stoyanovsky was off the net by about a foot there.
Yeah.
Literally off the net.
That was a young block.
Yes.
He gets served on the right side, takes a high ball in the center of the court. Beautiful, polished wrist away. See, the thing is, Russia plays all year long, right? Like these guys, when they quit indoor, and they have terrible weather, right? And so they learn to play in conditions that are like this. This is perfect.
Hard-packed, indoors, yeah.
Indoor. They train indoor probably 5 months a year until they get the call from the Spaniards to come visit the Canary Islands in January. But these guys are used to this. It's hard-packed sand without much wind. It suits them well, and you're seeing.
They don't go with like the Rocky Balboa, Drago training outside, carrying the things in Siberia.
You can't win, Rock. Krasilnikov goes
getting
just a bit
interesting,
long.
though.
Yeah.
We have a game point now.
Why aren't they serving him more often? I mean, he's a great player too, but they just really haven't touched Stoyanovsky. Set point, Latvia.
Nice serve down the line.
God, that's a good-looking swing.
Yeah. He looks like a great all-around volleyball player.
Totally agree. 2020, Latvia really needs this side out to give them a chance at set point again. Plavins has been running a lot of balls into the middle of the court. Look for him to take that.
Oh, that hurts. Did the wind switch? It looks like the Russians now are on the good side.
Russians are on the good side for sure. About a 5 to 6 mile an hour wind into the right side of the court here.
That's tight. Oh, lefty. Lefty and snuck it under.
Lefty.
Sometimes as a blocker, on that you're looking at his right arm and then he throws a lefty and you're just not in the right spot.
Throws everything off.
Lefties throw everything off, too.
Forever. But Latvia goes to the so-called good side. They're going to take a meatball from Stoyanovsky. Plavins in the middle again where he likes it. Uh-oh. I think when he looks too long, he's not as crisp. He took a huge look at the defense, didn't get his eyes back on the set ball, and got thrown back.
To be fair, Stoyanov, it's the first time he's waited and looked, too. He's waited on that.
So we have our first match point from Russia to go undefeated today and win their pool.
Oh, that's trouble. Wow, he got over early and far over. That was
game, Russia.
Elbows almost to the triceps.
Is way over.
I wonder how that actually feels to do that.
We'd have to go out to a tennis court. 21-14, 23-21. After a valiant comeback by Latvia, Russia polishes them off in 2 straight sets to win their pool 2-0 and get a break all day tomorrow.
We do have a Superman sighting coming up here for our next match.
Latvia is not out of the tournament. However, they go 1-1, and they will play out of the draw tomorrow in a contenders single elimination bracket.
Plavins mic'd up right now. I mean, it sounds like we're actually listening to his entire conversation.
Seriously. Okay, I'm Jeff Alzina and Dax Holder, and we are going to take a short break while the 2 teams warm up here for the next round. Sean Rosenthal and Chase Budinger from the USA are going to take on the Czech Republic here at the F5VB Las Vegas, presented by P1440. See you in a few minutes. Thanks a lot.
Guys, what about your uniforms? You should bring the ones from the morning. Yes, we have to use the same. Really? Yeah. Are you from Czech or what? Yeah. Okay. You want to use the same? Okay. I haven't hopefully. Haven't got medical. I'm 10 years, so I don't know what to do with it. Andre, something. I appreciate also only the try.